1470 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles.
All right, it's time to learn about our eyes and our eye care. And if you have a question about eyeglasses or any eye condition that you or somebody you care about might be going through, this is a great time to call to get some answers to those questions. Our guests from Ocala Eye are Nikki and Liz Eyeglass. Did I say it right, Liz? And the phone number here is 622-9622. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you hear the story about the nose, the smelling enhancer thing?
No.
No? Okay. So there, so you guys like help people whose eyes are like not working right, and you help people whose ears are not working right. And now I guess if you have an olfactory deficiency or something, your nose doesn't smell like you can't smell. There's a
Right.
thing you wear on your nose, and it helps you smell. And it's the I can't imagine. I mean, can you imagine the embarrassment? It almost looks.
Well, it'd be weird to have that on your nose. Like,
Yeah.
I know it looks like a shelf. It's the best way I can describe it. A little tiny clips on, and looks like you got a little shelf underneath your nose.
I don't know if I want to smell things that bad.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I get used to not smelling.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I hope nobody's being
I think they
insulted.
have something you insert in your nose. That'd make more sense.
Maybe that's the next generation.
Maybe.
What happens
Right.
if you sneeze?
No, what happens if like your date has one, right? And she takes it off. You go. Did I not bathe? Well, I don't want to say anything, but yeah, I'd rather not smell you right now.
True.
So good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
Yeah. How's everything at Ocala Eye?
Good. Busy.
Doing good,
Getting
yeah.
closer and closer to the move, so we're trying to narrow down all those things and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're still going
move
through all
in
that.
offices and trying not to have doctors close schedules and
What's the heaviest thing you have to move? 'Cause
some of our equipment.
I can help. You want me to come and help?
Probably the
Usually
exam
everybody asks me to help them move.
the exam chairs, probably, or the stands.
Should they at least give you something for helping move?
Yes. Pizza.
Pizza. There you go.
You usually get a pizza. So I have a question, and I wanted you to address this. Somebody was calling about it. They didn't realize you were coming on today, so I said, well, I'll ask you guys, you ladies. Back to school is coming up, right? What are the rules that the school says about eyes? What was the thing we heard, Robin, that the eye test in the school is only so-so. It's not really the best eye test. So if your child is not...
It meets whatever minimums that the government requires for them to pass an eye test.
So
or
the
to
best
not have
way-
to send them to an eye doctor.
The best way I can ask you to address this, just talk to the audience if you could, and Robin and I will kind of bounce off of whatever you're saying. The person who's maybe bringing a child to school for the first time, maybe they don't know if they can see well enough. They don't want them sitting in the back of the class. They can't see the blackboard, that kind of thing. Do they even have blackboards anymore?
They dry erase
They're
boards, right?
whiteboards.
They're
They're
whiteboards.
dry erase boards
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Now some are even electronic whiteboards.
I think for the most part, as parents, if either of you or both of you are already wearing corrective lenses, it's probably a little bit more of a chance that your child is going to need glasses. And at some ages, they're just not old enough to realize that they're not seeing well. They don't know. Most of the time, if they're not seeing well, it's usually only in one eye. And so when both eyes are open, the child doesn't really notice it. And none of us really just do this
wow.
as of habit, so they don't really know. I would say, just as a rule of thumb, if they passed the one that, you have to go get your child's physical or whatever for, some grades. If they pass it, they're probably okay. But if either of you or both of you wear glasses, it's probably always a good idea to at least have them checked at least once. It can't hurt anything. Your insurance is going to cover it, so it's at least beneficial for you to check it out to make sure, so that if they do need something, you're catching it early enough that you can actually help if there is a problem. Because there is a certain age limit where, you can't help that lazy eye learn to see any better.
Okay.
It kind of stops at a certain age. So
Well, and even I guess another crucial thing would be the health of the eye. You know, if there's something in the back of the eye, cancer in the back of the eye, anything, any type
God
of
forbid,
disease in the
yeah.
back of the eye. So overall, it's probably good anyways just to have the baseline with an ophthalmologist at some point, you know, before the age of 5. And then, of course, you know, after that as an adult, it's even good to have that,
Right.
even if you do see well, to get the inside of the eye examined as well.
And is the Ocala Eye, do you see children?
We do not see anyone under the age of 12.
Oh, okay. So if they're 12, then they're okay to come to you. And is
Yes.
there a specialist in town? I'm not asking you to give a plug to somebody, but is there somebody in town that works
Specialist
with
in
children?
Gainesville.
There's a pediatric specialist in Gainesville,
Oh,
I
okay.
believe.
Okay.
Pediatrics is its own, definitely its own. I mean, there are specific pediatric ophthalmologists. Like that's its own
All
field.
right. Wow, that's interesting.
We
Yeah.
used to have one here that traveled up from Tampa a while ago, but his practice there got so busy that he could no longer come here. But he was actually a pediatric neuro-ophthalmologist. But
I mean, I can't. Yeah, I can imagine that a child in school who's doing poorly, who doesn't realize that his vision is not as good as the other kids, and his parents can't figure out why you're doing so bad in school. Well, maybe it's just where he's sitting. You know.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, you know, a lot of times the child doesn't know to tell you that that looks blurry because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
may feel like that's how everyone sees it. They don't know it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
yeah,
any
yeah.
different. So,
And do you have like 2 sets of frames since they're children ages 12 and up that you see? So when the 12-year-old needs glasses, you have frames that they're interested in as opposed to the frames that the adults are interested
Yes,
in.
we actually do cater to everyone from probably the age of 7 up in the optical. Like infants and things like that, of course, we don't have glasses for because they're very small faces and they have specific temples and things that attach to keep them on their face because they like to yank them off. So we don't have anything like that for infants, but for teens and even younger than teens, we do have frames that will fit their faces and frames that they'll like. We even have frames that change color when you go outside for the kids, which
Really?
are really neat. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah. And that's
there
something
used to
new
be
that,
that
we got
line
in.
of clothes when we were
Uh-huh.
in school. What was that line of clothes that did that when we were in school? It changed when you went outside in the
What?
sun.
Really?
Oh, I remember that
Yes.
brand. Yeah, I can't think
What
of
was
the
it
name of
called?
it.
There was like stuff on your shirt.
Yes.
And it was activated by the
by
UV.
the
Really?
And it would turn
Yeah.
colors.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have frames that do the same thing then?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Frames that do the same thing.
So what kind of care do you have to give them? Do you have to wash them with soap or certain other liquid or
Yeah, Dawn dish soap and warm water is the best way to clean the glasses.
lenses too with the same
Lenses
thing?
and all. Yeah, Dawn dish soap, warm water in
All
the
the
sink.
oil from your skin and
Yeah,
everything off
gets
there.
it all removed. Microfiber cloths, 100% cotton t-shirt to dry them. So we tell people if they have like a old 100% cotton t-shirt, they could use that and cut it into strips and reuse it. We tell them no paper towels, no Kleenex, no paper products. It tends to
Really?
scratch the lenses.
So I'm doing that.
Oh, no.
Look out.
I didn't know. So I have a question. What was my question? Oh, when I first got these
You should have
glasses,
got a glasses cloth in your
I
eyeglass
do,
case.
and I use it sometimes. But I'm amazed how many fingerprints are on my glasses.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I touch them, but there it is. And I'm guessing it's me. I mean, on somebody else's grab my face. Hey, so when I first got these glasses, I could walk out of my air-conditioned car and it would not fog over. Now it fogs over. So I'm guessing whatever you guys had on the lens surface to prevent fogging must have worn off, right? Either I thought I washed it off because
They don't normally come with a preventative anti-fog.
really.
So it could just be that now the AC's maybe cranked up colder or it's hotter outside.
Oh, that's what it is. Well, more human, maybe. Huh?
More humid. Yeah, so just the high heat to the cold will always fog up the glasses.
Do you know what Robin and I did one time? We were invited to participate in a virtual Alzheimer's room or something, right?
Yes.
Right? So they put you, the way they do this was they want you to experience what Alzheimer's patients feel and see and hear.
Okay.
They put a headset on you, and it's got this crazy, hard to hear through sound. They give you these glasses that are like yellow
Oh, like cataracts.
and
yeah.
very, very hard to see through, you know? And then they put unpopped corn
in your shoes.
in your shoes, and then they
Really?
bind your fingers. Yeah, and then they tell you to hang up the clothes, pour a cup of tea, and they give you some chores to do.
Fold the laundry, make the bed.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
That was awful.
And I know,
Yeah,
and you
it was
can't
hard.
change, and you have to keep the glasses on. And so you're feeling around the room. Where's the stupid? And you realize how frustrating it must be for these people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in that 5 minutes that you're doing this, you're giggling because this is crazy. But then you realize this is what they live with
Yeah, that's
24 hours a
awful.
day. Yeah, that's horrible, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess for them, the one thing, if you could get anything back, the pain in your feet will still be there, the fingers will still be bound together, but the vision is the
vision.
one thing that you may be able to fix, right?
Yeah.
And what is it? Just cataracts?
A lot of times it is just cataracts for patients. I mean, unfortunately, there's still a huge fear that surrounds cataract surgery for patients because it's their eyes. So to
Yes.
them, they'd rather their vision be blurry
Oh,
than
I see, yeah.
have to come in to have surgery on their eyes because the alternative of something actually happening is very frightening to them. When in all actuality, cataract surgery is actually the safest and most frequently performed surgery in the United States of America, period.
But the
I mean,
patient is awake, so they're actually
they
seeing
are awake.
you.
They don't
do
see anything
that.
but a light. They don't see the edge of any
Oh.
instruments. They don't
Oh.
see. They look at a light. That's all they see. The light might get a little bit blurrier, may seem a little bit brighter at times, but they don't see the edge of anything. Surgery's done from the side, so there's nothing over top of them other than
Oh, I
the
didn't
microscope
know.
light that they're staring at. So
Really?
it's not what most people probably have envisioned in their mind as what they're going to experience through cataract surgery.
And now, if a person has LASIK surgery when they're younger, will they still have cataracts forming?
Yes, because LASIK is performed on the outside of the eye, in the front surface, and cataracts are actually inside of the eye. It's your natural lens that becomes cloudy.
And will that affect what they see from the LASIK surgery when they have the cataracts
When they start having cataract
removed?
formation, yes, it will start making their vision start be blurry again and not clear. And
So do you have
Wow.
to be? How do I ask this sensitively? Please don't anybody get offended. But when people have Alzheimer's, sometimes they're losing their mind, literally, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they could be angry or jerky and moving their face and all that. I mean, is that a prerequisite? Do they have to be able to sit still and that kind of thing?
well, yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can deal with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we can't. So if we think that it's going to make the procedure unsafe for the patient, we will recommend they go somewhere like Shands where they can have general anesthesia and be put to
Oh, okay,
sleep for
okay.
the cataract surgery.
Oh, okay.
If there's something medically that would make the surgery too risky for them to do it just under local.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So before I go crazy, if my eyes start going bad, drag me in there. Because I already know I got the beginnings of it, right?
You have moderate.
Moderate. What does that mean?
That means they're not really mild, but they're not probably visually significant enough yet.
So mild is better than moderate?
Mild is better than moderate.
Oh my gosh. I see you pretty good though.
Well, you do see well, but your cataract formation, because your lens literally is a round thing, so if your cataract formation starts on the outside,
Yeah.
it's not really affecting your vision because the middle of your lens is still
okay,
clear.
so it's on the outside,
So
okay.
you could have moderate cataract formation and most of it be forming to the outside, and it's not really visually significant for you at this
Moderate. I didn't realize that was a scary word.
point. Moderate's not really scary.
No?
Nah.
Well, should they be removed now that it's moderate, or do you have to wait?
Really for us, I mean, obviously there's guidelines that we have to follow for insurance purposes, but our main, probably red flag for wanting to start the ball rolling with cataract surgery is the patient actually having visual complaints. It's interfering with their daily activities. That's what matters to us more because, we want them. We don't want to just do surgery on you just to do it. We want you to have notice that there's something going on with your vision so that when we change the vision, you will see a significant difference.
And Liz, when people come in, sometimes they want to use the same lenses that they've been using in this particular frame, but maybe they just want a different frame. Can you take the lenses out of the frame that they have and put it in a different frame, or do you recommend against that?
We do recommend against it. We kind of do that in emergency situations. So if someone has broken their frame and we can't find a replacement, so they don't make the frame anymore and they really need the glasses to see, then we'll find something to fit the lenses into for them. But you have to cut the lenses down in size, or the bridge is a different size than the frame that they're wearing, but all of those measurements play a key role into how that lens fits on them. So anytime you change a measurement on the frames, you're changing how the lenses fit you. So then the lenses may not be positioned properly. They may be too high or too low, or your pupillary distance is going to be off, which would be causing pulling in your eyes. So we don't recommend it. But emergency situations, we will do what we can to get them into something.
And do you recommend people taking their glasses to like the jeweler that have those like jewelry cleaners that move?
The
sonic
ultrasonic
thing?
cleaners?
Yeah, those things. Does that
Oh, we have
work?
one in the mall here.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
what I'm
$1 or
asking.
something. Yeah.
We do use an ultrasonic cleaner for our glasses. When we take them all apart, we put them in there and clean them off
Oh.
really good. The lenses is the issue. So if there's like a lot of ammonia in that or some other type of cleaner, it could be harsh on your lenses. So I guess I don't recommend you putting it in just any jewelry cleaner ultrasonic type of bath.
Oh, really? This one at that end of the mall toward the, what's that end, Robin?
It's down there towards the belt.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Does it say for glasses?
It's like a little thing you actually it's like an eyeglass wash station. You literally
okay.
stick them inside the little thing. It closes and it like
cleans the glasses. So then that would probably be okay because it's for glasses versus.
Oh, okay. So
if
you
it
would
says
say
for
it's okay.
glasses, then I would say it's probably
Well, see,
okay.
it's like a little station thing.
Yeah.
It's-
And okay, now, so I thought, okay, that's just somebody making money off of nothing. And I heard the lady there saying to somebody, "You will not believe how much better your glasses will be cleaned than if you just clean them yourself in the
Yes.
kitchen sink." And I thought, come on, how? Really? I mean, is it really that much better?
It vibrates all the oil and dirt in the grooves of the lens out. So like at the very top of your frame where you can't really get in and clean it, it kind
Right,
of pulls
right.
all of that out of there, all the oil and buildup that's kind of setting in there. The
So is that
ultrasonic cleaner
safe, or
does.
should we come to you
We're gonna
guys
go
and
do that.
have you put it in there?
What is it,
Well,
$1?
if that says it's for glasses, then
Yeah,
it should be safe.
it is
So
literally an
as long as it
eyeglass
says for
cleaning
glasses,
station.
I wouldn't just go stick it in like K Jeweler's ultrasonic cleaner,
yeah.
but because I don't know what chemicals they have in there
Oh, yeah, right.
for
right,
the
right.
jewelry. You know, I don't know how different that is from the lenses.
But you know, there's an ice cream place right there, too.
Cold Stone.
I'm just thinking,
Yeah,
right, right.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
you could drop it off and go
I don't
get
know
your
why
ice
we
cream.
like that. I don't know why we like watching somebody putting ice cream together. But we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about it's like when you go to a Japanese restaurant, they make the food right there.
Yes.
Everybody loves you can make the food right there in front of you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I used to go to this place actually when I was younger. I haven't been there in a long time, but in De Leon Springs, there's a place in there where you make your own pancakes. They
Yeah,
bring
the
you
Pancake House.
Yeah. They bring you have a griddle in the table and they bring you your
Oh, at the
pancake
state
mix
park.
and
at the
yes.
park.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We've done this. Yes.
Yeah.
And they bring you eggs too.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want,
Right
yeah.
on
You
that
make it
griddle.
yourself. Yeah. Don't put your styrofoam cup on it though.
No.
It'll go
Doesn't
bad.
work good.
Yeah.
Did you ever go swimming in that little swimming area outside?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, it's just
I have
beautiful.
not.
It's so deep though.
I have
Ooh,
not.
you gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, there's probably a few people down there.
Have you ever designed any frames? Either of you? Have you thought about the way
no.
a frame should look and then maybe sketch something out and all of a sudden there it is?
I don't have that ability to
Me either.
sketch.
Yeah.
I'm like a kindergartner when it comes to drawing. It's not pretty.
Oh yeah, but that would be such fun. You guys could
It
have
probably
your
would be
own
fun.
name on your frame, and that would be. So
I just like
neat.
to try on what we have out there. We
I
have
enjoy
such
being the
cute
stylist
stuff.
part. I'll be the stylist of the frames. I don't know about creating the designs.
I can't even imagine that being a thing, but I guess it is.
Oh
huh?
gosh,
is,
there's
yeah.
so many different
Yeah.
frame
Somebody has
styles
to-
and types.
Somebody has to sit there and design it.
Make
Huh?
'em all,
yeah. And it's no different than fashion. Things are trendy and they.
I wonder where that guy is right now. Just probably listening to the radio, saying, "Oh, come on."
But it's the material also, right? I mean, the frames are different materials too.
Yep. They've got tons of materials. I mean, you've got your titanium, your Monel, your plastics, like your TR90s, your nylon. I mean, carbon fiber frames, wood frames, gold frames.
Yeah.
I mean, it's endless as far as what they make the frames out of.
I didn't need a designer for that nose go thing or whatever it's called.
I know.
That thing that helps you
Oh,
smell better. I think it was nose go something.
That they needed to come up with.
I mean,
a better
it's a
option.
horrible. It looks like a shelf.
I'm gonna have
It
to Google
looks
it
like
now.
scaffolding. That's what it looks like. Scaffolding hanging under your nose. It's like some. Someone's going to be washing the windows. Little tiny guys.
But what's really neat about Ocala Eye is that you sort of do a history of everybody that comes in there, and then you know what their profession is, what their sports are, and things. That
Yeah,
way.
so, I mean, the doctors do definitely when they're preparing the patients for surgery, but, optical takes it a little bit of a different route, as far as kind of interviewing the patient almost to find out, what they're going to use them for, because that matters, and what they're going to recommend for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and I would imagine, getting back to the school conversation we were having, the 12-year-olds and up, they're probably involved with different things in school, right?
Athletics,
Yes.
sports, yeah.
Yeah, and they're usually going to recommend probably a different type of lens and a different type of frame for, younger kids, because they're pretty rough on them. They fall asleep in them. They don't care for them like we do as adults. They're just not as cautious with them. So
I don't remember ever seeing a football player with eyeglasses under the helmet. But I remember a basketball player. Who was this? Was it Scotty something down in the Magic years ago?
Yeah, I can't remember his
He
last
he
name.
wore goggles on
yeah,
on the
on the-
basketball
on the
court.
court.
And I don't know if that was prescription reasons or what that was. Probably was.
Probably was.
Probably was.
Yeah.
Probably
I mean,
was.
I've been a candidate for LASIK or something.
Or
so,
contacts. Probably couldn't
yeah.
wear contacts either.
But I mean, if playing football, you would think that's you've got to either have goggles. But I've never seen somebody do that. I wonder, have you ever had
I've not
somebody?
really noticed that either.
I don't think I have either.
Not under a football helmet.
So when law enforcement comes to you and they have their eyes examined and then you select their frames, what kind of frames do you recommend?
I mean, you're still going to do safety on most people. So I would say it is more of a safety style lens, but it's also going to be something that's going to be durable and hold up because they're in and outs, they're in the heats, they're in the cold, they're very active, they're running. So you want to make sure that it's a frame that's going to fit them well and not slide off and stay on their face. So just a durable safety lens.
And then you're able to give them a different kind of frame for when they're not on the job then.
Yeah,
they're
which
pretty
really it's
versatile,
dual
though.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd
Oh,
say
they
it
are?
works for both, unless they want something for off the job that's more dress and not more active fit. So then they could choose something different for when they go out or
Yeah.
other things like that.
Nikki, do you know Deputy Brian Bowman? Do you know him? No. He made national news. We're getting a lot of national news from our law enforcement.
Yes, we are.
Do you know why he's in the news? Put your headset on. I want to play the sound
The
from.
name sounds familiar.
Oh, really? Really? Here's Deputy Brian Bowman. Ready? Here he is.
The nerve of this guy.
Oh, the turtle.
Literally going.
Oh, yes, the turtle.
30 miles
The turtle.
He's going 1 mile an hour. You knew it,
Easily
right?
100. You shouldn't be out on the roadways to begin with.
Yeah, the turtle.
I love stories like that. Yeah. So that made I guess he did what do you call it? A body cam or something or whatever. He had a video of the
Or the
turtle.
dash cam.
Yeah. I
I
think
mean,
he just
everybody
did
says
it.
it's not a turtle; it's a tortoise, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty
He
big.
was going 1 mile an hour and a 30 mile an hour zone. That was kind of funny.
It was pretty funny.
That's the kind I love those stories. I mean, I'd rather have
too.
that than some of the horrible stuff you see all the time.
Yes, me too. Me
Much
too.
more entertaining.
Yes.
So you should have a club over at the sheriff's office, the National News Club.
I know it's been wonderful. I mean, gosh, law enforcement definitely needs some positive light shown on it. So that's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it's for, it's been good to be in the limelight for something good.
Something good,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have your ophthalmologists ever been called to like a Busch Gardens or something, and that if their tiger is going blind or they have cataracts, do they go down there and take care of them like they do?
Normally, your veterinarians are going to be the one who do that.
Oh, they
does
do,
that.
even with the vision.
Yep, your veterinarians will be the ones that perform cataract surgery on your. Now, I don't know that every veterinarian does it, so there might be just specialists that kind of do it. Just like there's some veterinarians that are more towards ortho, so they do a lot of joint surgeries for animals.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of I think the same way in healthcare as it is in veterinary care. Some of them subspecialize and stuff. So.
You know, when Robin mentioned Busch Gardens, I thought she was going to ask you about beer glasses.
No, we get those at the Market of Mary.
Yeah, that's right. They do
Yeah,
have
that's
them.
where we find those.
Yeah, some crazy glasses. Now there's some designs. Oh my gosh. You wouldn't wear any of those glasses.
Not for every day.
The ones Elton John wore. Remember those? Actually, that's what I should.
We do have a couple of styles like that.
They're kind of
you do?
similar.
Yeah, they are similar, round like that.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's
Some of his
fun.
eccentric ones, no.
With the feathers coming off.
Yeah, no.
And will you put tints in there too?
We will. We will do pretty much any color tint: pink, purple, brown, gray, like a rose, a sand. So any tint that you could really think of, most likely we could put on the lenses.
And are people going to a separate pair of glasses for sunglasses, or do more people go to those lenses that change the color?
It's half and half. You know, half the people do like the transition lenses that darken outside and clear up indoors, but they don't always change enough in the car, so then you still are relying on a pair of sunglasses.
Oh, okay.
And then people who are very active outdoors want that polarized option, and the polarized is what blocks the blinding glare. So if you're fishing, you want to see the fish in the water, and you want to cut that glare on the top, the ocean, and the polarized lenses will do that. So you'll have people that'll do both, some that will stick with transitions, and some that will actually do a separate pair of sunglasses.
You're a one-stop shop. That's what I like. Ocala Eye has great
We try to
bedside
be.
manner, and you're a one-stop shop.
Nikki and Liz, thank you, ladies, for coming in here, having fun
for
with us.
having us.
How do we get a hold of you? What's your number?
352-622-5183, or they can visit us on the web page at ocalaeye.com or Facebook.
And if you need an endorsement, I got it for you because I went and I'm a happy customer. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll,
you.
we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Some members of Congress say they're considering a resolution expressing support